The national dialogue has already been marred by criticism and backlash, including its 700 million rand cost. It fell apart before it even began. The diversity specialist Terry Oakley-Smith is weighing in on this conversation. Terry, thank you so much for joining us this morning. A happy Women's Day to you. Let's just speak about this dialogue and now seeing these foundations that have pulled out. What do you think are the potential implications of the legacy foundations in pulling out at the broader goals of this national dialogue?
I think it's a great pity and it bodes ill fortune for this national dialogue. I think the voices of the legacy foundations were extremely important. I know the Nelson Mandela Foundation pulled out at the very beginning. And now we have foundations with disparate views like the F.W. de Klerk Foundation, the Biko Foundation. And these, in a way, are the people that really hear the views of ordinary people. So we're left with eminent persons. We don't quite know who they are or why they've been selected. And we're left with political parties. So I don't think this can possibly be regarded as a national dialogue. I think we need to take a step back, rethink it, and start on the ground, actually, Katlego. I mean, I run dialogues all the time. And I remember back in the day with Kathrada, who was the most amazing man, no hubris at all. He used to attend the dialogues. And his idea, which I think was a very good one, was getting people from adjacent communities who were different. So, for example, from a coloured community which butted onto a Soweto community to come together in dialogue and talk about the problems they had and how they could resolve those. And in those small ways, people began to understand each other a lot better. So I think if it begins from the ground up, it has much more chance of success than if we fly in a group of eminent persons, none of whom we know and we don't know why they've been selected, and political parties. We need to be talking to people on the ground.
I mean, the president has already said that, over 1,000 people have already accepted the invite, and on that basis and many others, and this will continue. And many of these foundations are saying, well, some of the issues are that the planning was rushed and, like you're saying, there's not much participation with regards to civil society. What underlying systemic or structural issues do you think have contributed to these foundations withdrawing?
I mean, I was listening yesterday to the F.W. de Klerk Foundation spokesperson, and he just said, look, this has been captured. We're being sort of frog marched towards the 50, he didn't use that word, but he implied that we're being frog marched towards the 15th of August, like it or not. We haven't had time to plan. Until recently, money was not available. Now no one is even sure. We hear huge numbers, but there's no clarity on the money available and how it will be spent. So he was saying, isn't it time that we took a step backwards and spent far more time planning this thing than in rushing it forward to the 15th of August, when clearly we're not ready? And many South Africans, Katlego, haven't got a clue what this national dialogue is about. I mean, I'm one of them. I don't know why we're having a national dialogue. Is it to pinpoint the problems in South Africa? Because we're all too aware of them. We live with them every single day. And we haven't somehow been taken into the confidence of the people who are organizing this dialogue. So it's very difficult to become enthusiastic and supportive. And now that we see the legacy foundations pulling out, that makes us even more concerned. I mean, why are we rushing ahead with a dialogue that important organizations don't want to be a part of?
And that certainly is the question. I mean, like you're mentioning, many South Africans aren't sure what the purpose of this dialogue is. Like you say, we already know the problems that are plaguing many South Africans. Coming out of what would then be that conversation from the 15th of August, do you think there would be any solutions with regards to what South Africans are facing? I mean, even beyond the suggestion that some of the foundations have made in pushing it to the 15th of October, would that even make a difference?
No, I mean, I think, we really need to take a step back, swallow our pride, and start again. And if we genuinely want a dialogue that involves people, ordinary South African people, that's where we need to start. We need to start in communities that are close to one another, and we need to learn to listen. This is not about trying to get people to agree with us, but it's more about helping people to listen to one another in different communities, to hear people's views, I guess, and from there to build an idea of what would be useful if we were to hold a national convention.
All right.
But we're starting at the top instead of at the bottom. And that's why I feel quite strongly that this can't possibly succeed.
Terry, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy what's left of your Women's Day. And we certainly do hope that something could come out of these dialogues in terms of action in fixing what is wrong with our country. So thank you for your time. That's diversity specialist Terry Oakley-Smith.